Welcome back, fellow ToK teachers, to the ToK Today 4-part series on structuring the ToK course. Now, in this third video, we're going to explore a third way to design your ToK curriculum, and we're going to call this one the Themes and Big Questions approach. Let's go. So I've called the third model the Themes and Big Questions approach. This approach, as it says in the title, uses themes or big questions to unpack the ToK syllabus, both the framework and the concepts. Now, I've seen various versions of this over the years. This used to be far more popular before ToK became a diploma pass-fail component. A themes approach could be developed by taking some of the classic philosophical themes and placing ToK knowledge questions or ToK structures within those themes. For example, the theme of justice could come under areas of knowledge, human sciences or history, and the core unit of the knower and knowledge communities. We could develop knowledge questions for this theme, such as, is the truth what the majority of people accept? And how do empathy and imagination help us to understand other perspectives? If moral claims conflict, does it follow that all views are equally acceptable? Is it unfair to judge people and actions in the past by the standards of today? Should terms such as atrocity or hero be used when writing about history, or should value judgments be avoided? Do historians have a moral responsibility to try to ensure that history is not misused and distorted by people for their own ends? And we could go on writing these knowledge questions which are about AOK history and about truth, or about AOK the arts and about justice and so on. Now, similarly, the big questions approach can take classic philosophical or liberal arts questions and use them as a means for exploring ToK content, such as the knowledge framework, ToK concepts, or knowledge questions. An example of the big question approach could be something like, we ask the big question, can we know things beyond our personal immediate experience? The question can then be broken down into learning experiences. Structured and scaffold learning experiences could include text analysis, debates, presentations, and so on, which can then be linked to ToK. Now, a guided inquiry could be formulated within relevant ToK concepts such as evidence, certainty, truth, and so on. The students could design their own solutions with clear success criteria. For example, they could use the success criteria from the exhibition or the success criteria from the essay. Now, let's briefly look at the advantages and disadvantages of this approach. The first advantage of the Themes of Big Questions approach is obviously the open-ended design of learning. This approach allows learners to bring their personal experiences, interests and knowledge to the inquiry, which helps to build skills for the exhibition. It gives learners a high degree of autonomy in the learning resources they use and how they choose to utilize them. This approach encourages easy flows between different-sized learning groups and individual learning or reflection. Now, the second advantage is that this approach is wholly holistic. It's intrinsically interdisciplinary. This approach makes it far easier for students to develop an integrated model of ToK by seeing the links across the AOKs, the core theme, and optional themes. And when this approach is done well, teachers and students will rarely refer to those ToK structures, but will be fully aware of them. Consequently, this approach is by far the best at placing ToK in its real-world context, and for helping students to understand how to identify ToK issues in real-world context. This thematic big questions approach is powerful and heady stuff. This is by far the most powerful model of teaching ToK. So why doesn't everyone use it? Well, before we get into that, please could I ask you to press a like if you're getting value from this video, and to subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. A subscription really helps the channel out, and it's free for you to do. So why doesn't everyone use the big questions and themes approach to teach ToK? Well, when this model is done well, it's very powerful. But conversely, when it's poorly executed, this model is more detrimental than any other model. This model takes the learner one step away from ToK, and it often requires the teacher to make that connection with the ToK. And if that connection is not effectively made, the students are left with even less ToK knowledge and probably more confusion than with any other model. Therefore, this model requires resources, competent and knowledgeable teachers who have time to plan, ToK teaching time, at least the recommended time, probably more. It requires either small, mixed ability classes or very able students who are able to make conceptual leaps from various real-world contexts to ToK content. This model is for able DP students who are taught by experienced and well-trained teachers in a well-resourced school. Does this sound like your context? Well, thank you for watching the third part of our series on structuring the ToK course. Join me in the next video where I'll explore my preferred model for designing learning in the ToK curriculum. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe and share your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope to see you on the next video. Stay ToKtastic, my friend.